Dangote Petroleum Refinery has announced a significant development in the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit (PMS), popularly known as Petrol, by 65 naira per litre. The new price, effective today, sees the ex-depot price drop from 890 naira to 825 naira per litre, offering much-needed relief to Nigerians amidst rising economic pressures. The price adjustment, according to the company's official statement, is part of its commitment to supporting the Nigerian government's economic recovery policy led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The move is particularly timely as the country prepares for the Ramadan fasting, reflecting Dangote Petroleum Refinery's dedication to easing the financial burden on citizens. This latest price reduction marks the second in February 2025, following an early decrease of 60 naira earlier in the month. The company had also implemented a price cut of 70 naira in December 2024 during the Yuletide season, which helped stabilize fuel supply and prevent the usual scarcity and price hikes experienced during the festive period. In partnership with leading fuel distribution companies, the refinery has ensured that the new price adjustment will be reflected at the pump. MRS Holding Station will sell Dangote Petrol at 860 naira per litre in Lagos, 870 naira per litre in the southwest, 880 naira per litre in north, and 890 naira per litre in south-south and southeastern region. Similarly, Adova Petroleum AP and hiding stations will sell the product at 865 naira per litre in Lagos, 875 naira per litre in southwest, 885 naira in the north, and 895 in south-south and southeast regions. In Washington, D.C., the U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday issued a temporary stay on a lower court's order that mandated the Trump administration to release approximately $2 billion in foreign aid. The decision, signed by Chief Justice John Roberts, delays the execution of the aid payment until further court decisions are made. Here is President Trump.
We're cutting down government. We're cutting down the size of government. We have to. We're bloated. We're sloppy. We have a lot of people that aren't doing their job. We have a lot of people that don't exist.
The temporary stay comes as part of the ongoing legal battle over the distribution of foreign aid funds. The lower court's ruling, which had requires the immediate release of the funds, was challenged by the Trump administration, prompting the Supreme Court intervention. The Supreme Court has set a deadline on February 28, 2025 for responses to the application for a stay. The decision to grant a temporary hold signals that the High Court is considering the merits of the administration appeal. The $2 billion in question is designated for humanitarian assistance and development programs in several countries. The delay has drawn criticism from advocacy groups who argue that the aid is urgently needed in regions facing humanitarian crisis. Legal experts anticipated that the case could have significant implications for the administration's discretion in managing foreign aid allocations. The Supreme Court's forthcoming decision will determine whether the funds will be released or remain withheld as the legal process unfolds. Further developments are expected following the February 28 deadline as the court reviews the argument from both sides. While in Eastern Europe, heavy fighting erupted in the Kursk and Pokrovsk region on Wednesday as Russian and Ukrainian forces clash amidst ongoing preparation for peace talks. Both sides reported significant casualties, with military officials describing the battle as some of the fiercest in recent weeks. The escalation comes at a critical juncture as diplomatic efforts intensify to bring an end to the conflict. Representatives from both countries are set to meet for peace negotiation later this week in Geneva, aiming to reach a ceasefire agreement. Humanitarian agencies have raised concern about the worsening condition for civilians in the conflict zone, calling for immediate relief efforts. The international community continues to push for a peaceful resolution, though tensions on the ground threaten to derail the talks. Analysts suggest that the outcome of the negotiations could significantly impact the broader geopolitical landscape in Eastern Europe. The situation remains fluid, with further development expected in the coming days. While in the Middle East, Israeli forces have intensified military operation in the West Bank amid ongoing hostilities with Hamas. The operations, which began early Wednesday, targeted suspected Hamas strongholds and weapons caches in several towns. The Israeli military reported that the operations were part of a broader effort to curb militant activity and prevent further rocket attack on Israeli cities. Hamas officials condemned the action, describing them as escalatory and calling for international intervention. The renewed violence has exacerbated the humanitarian crisis in the region, with aid organizations warning of worsening conditions for civilians. The United Nations has urged both sides to exercise restraint and prioritize dialogue. Diplomatic efforts to broker a ceasefire are ongoing, with mediators from Egypt and Qatar working to bring both parties to the negotiating table. However, prospects for a resolution remain uncertain as clashes continue. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov issued a stark warning about Palestine-Israel settlement. Take a look.
We placed great emphasis on yet another issue, which is the Palestinian-Israeli settlement and Israel-Lebanon relations. We are concerned that the Israeli army takes more steps every day that are not provided for in the agreements with Hamas and Lebanon. These steps create situations on the ground that are at odds with the existing agreements and UN Security Council resolutions on Palestinian affairs and the Lebanese issue. In this regard, Qatar and the Russian Federation share the importance of reorienting the process towards respecting the principles approved by the UN Security Council. The establishment of a Palestinian state is a key issue. Any attempts to tank these Security Council resolutions and to replace the establishment of a Palestinian state with resettling Palestinians across the region will only set a time bomb into motion, as has happened multiple times over the many decades of ignoring the demands for a two-state solution.
Observers warn that the conflict could further destabilize the region if not swiftly contained. More updates are expected as the situation develops. With that, we come to the end of Politics Insight on Diaspora Digital Media. For more of this content, follow us on our social media platforms. Don't forget to like this video. Hit the notification bell to get alerted when we drop a new video. I am Ibrahim Umar Wase. Bye for now.